How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about BBIG that ended up posting a green day. I'm getting a lot of questions. Dre, haven't you seen the gap on the BBIG chart? And of course I have. We have not filled it in as of yet, so I'm getting many questions of when that gap is going to be filled. And I'm also getting some more questions of, hey, where do I see this price going as far as for Friday, especially if we continue to see strength in the tech sector. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for BBIG. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $3.09, being up 4.04%. On the low, it tested $3.03, and then on the high, testing $3.26. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 33.799 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 31.334 million shares. So we had above average volume on the day, and we also seen some strength in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is at 59.98. So we still got some more room to run there. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 200-day, we're also below the 100-day, but we are above the 50-day and as well as the 21-day EMA. And I must say that BBIG has been showing a lot of strength. We already pointed out that there's a gap that needs to be filled to the downside right here around 258, but it hasn't filled that gap in as of yet, and this has literally been going on for the past 4 trading days. And going into tomorrow, it is looking fairly bullish. We ended up seeing a high of $3.26, so we have a breakout above this level. We could see BBIG getting right here to around 344, and upon breaking through 344, the next area of resistance will be right here around 360. So that's something you want to add to your homework. Now, if we decide to consolidate now, I would love for us to form another higher low. And what this would look like, I would love to see if we could hold up support right around $3.10. I know what you're saying. We closed at $3.09. So what I'm saying, I want to see us having a gap up inside of the pre-market and being able to break out. If we do not get this kind of price action, this is where I could see BBIG actually breaking through the $3 level and start testing the low right here around 280. And if 280 ends up breaking, then I know for a fact we are going to end up filling in that gap unless we try to use the 21-day EMA as support. So let's see how the stock performs going into tomorrow. Let's move on to the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for BBIG. Scrolling down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filings, we can see here for March the 24th, we have Fidelity that purchased 22,197 shares, and we see for the 21st, we have Nationwide Mutual Funds that purchased 1,339 shares. And then when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 47.51%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 6.34 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 75,000, updated 21 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 38.88%, so that is getting up there. And then when we take a look at the history of the short volume, we could see for the close of the 22nd, it was at 52.33, and then for the close of the 23rd being at 47.51. So one thing that remains the same, BBIG does have short squeeze potential. Now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for BBIG. So we see on the inflows at 18.56 and then on the outflows at 18.20. So we ended up having an inflow day, and do know these numbers are in the millions. When we take a look at the large orders, it was 1.09. On the medium, it was 12.11. And then on the small, it was 5.36. Taking a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large, it was 0.53. On the medium, it was 12.33. And then on the small, it was 5.34. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you could see for today, March the 24th, of it being an inflow of 0.56 million. And then when we analyze the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tends to represent the retail side, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the large, represents whales, institutions, and funds, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 18.17%. So for a volatile penny stock like BBIG, this is not too bad whatsoever. We know that it's going to be very liquid. It's going to grab the attention of a lot of traders. But one thing that is clear, it has been showing some strength in these markets. So let's go into the final thoughts, and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for BBIG, when it comes to the price action, there was clear demand inside of the market, knowing that it was able to close just above 4%. So going into tomorrow, I would like to see a continuation of a higher low. We want to see some strength. So I'd want to see support actually hold up around $3.10. I know this is a lot to ask. I'm not guaranteeing this is going to happen, because pretty much what I'm looking for, I want to see some strength inside of the after hours for tonight. And if we don't get that, I'm trying to see a jump inside of the pre-market, especially if we are seeing strength inside of the tech sector. If this does not occur, then there is a possibility where BBIG can pull back to around $2.80. And do know that we have a gap that needs to be filled right at around $2.58. The 21-day EMA is at 266. So there is a possibility if we do pull back tomorrow, we could end up closing around that 266 area or anywhere in the 260s. We don't necessarily have to fill the gap. It could be happening as far as for next week, but as far as for tomorrow, I am not seeing it. But like I always say, I could be wrong on that. But from that price action, if you're looking for a bullish move to the upside, then you'd want to see a breakout above $3.25. And if it's able to get past this level, then we'd have to look to see if it can get past 345. And then upon passing 345, that next resistance level will be right around $3.60. And if it does decide to break through that, I would say, you know what? You got to watch out. But that's pretty much what I see from the charts. So when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership, we could see institutions have been loading up on shares. And then when we take a look at the short interest information, it does continue to have short squeeze potential. So this is why BBIG needs to make sure it has more volume coming into the stock. If we don't have a lot of volume coming in, of course there's going to be a lot of selling pressure. As the price pulls back, retail is going to say, you know what, I'm going to get out of my positions. I don't want to be left holding the bag. But we also can't ignore the fact, as far as for the short borrow fee, it is climbing up. So for anyone who is shorting this stock, they have to be aware of that. So are they going to be down to be holding these positions for a long period of time? These are some things you want to think about. And this is why I say you want to have a good idea of what your entry and as well as your exit is going to be, and what your strategy is going to be. Are you going to be waiting for BBIG to fill in the gap before you go into a position? Or are you going to jump into BBIG right now, looking for a move to the upside right away? Again, you need to make that decision for yourself. I know for myself personally, I rather wait for BBIG to fill in the gap. But of course, that's why if you want to use a stop loss, so what that could potentially look like, I am not telling you to go out and do this. Since it did close above $3, I would be looking to get an entry if it pulls back to around $3. And then I'd have my stop loss around $2.90. So what that would mean is, as long as BBIG does not break $2.90, that will keep me inside of the play. And if there's a run up to, let's say, $3.10 or $3.20 or even further, I'll be able to enjoy that. And why while that is happening, this is where I say you move up your stop loss. So if I had it at 290 and I got in at $3 and then the stock got to 320, then I'd put my stop loss maybe around 310 or 315. I protect my initial investment, and if I do get kicked out of the trade, I made some money. Again, this is a strategy that I use, but you also have to think about the fact whether you want to swing trade it or day trade it. Again, it's going to be different for every individual, but that just gives you a good idea, because I get a lot of questions of, Dre, how do you use the stop loss? How is it effective and so forth? And I just answered that. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see how this stock performs going into tomorrow. We'll talk soon.